Hello gamers, today we're watching a best of 3 replay from Unova Champions League from week 1. The series was on 5-5 for these two teams, and I believe it was 11 games total. So yeah, this should be great. Let's see, we have Hippoclef from Smallow and Caesar Caldorain from MJF. Alright, so the point of this type of build from MJF is Caesar pursues Latios and or Latias, and then Keldo just kills everything. But Smallow's team is pretty weak to Keldon Rain in general. In fact, even Starmie Rain is a big problem for this team, because your only water resist is Latias, and you try to cheat on that with Clef, but in Rain, Clef does not beat water types. That's just not happening. And Keldo doesn't, he doesn't beat Keldo either way, but especially with Rain up. So even something as basic as Politoed forces you to go into Clef on this team. And then, you can double out, the ball is in the Rain team's court, right? So it's pretty... I think this is a pretty hard matchup for Smallow. You can win, yes. You need to get one spike up at least, which is not that hard because Carmody can spike up freely on Ferrothorn. And then your Latias plus Clef can win. Hippo too is very important. Hippo completely was most Thunderous Therian sets, so there's that. So I think here you should lead Hippodon if you're Smallow. Having Sand up, very important. Although maybe you can make a case that MJF should lead probably Keldeo. Actually, no, it's choice Keldeo, right, on this type of team. So maybe I will lead Hippodon no matter what. And if I'm against Ferrothorn, I click Stealth Raptor 1. It's not the best, but I think it's your best play. For MJF, I think you should lead Thunderous? Depends on the set. If you're Nasty Plot, you lead the Thunderous. If you're not Nasty Plot, probably not, because they're completely worthless against Hippodon. So probably lead... I will lead Ferrothorn if I'm not Plot. If I'm Plot Thunderous, I click Plot to 1. Because I'm expecting a Hippodon lead from Smallow, which I think is it was coming. And the thing is that if Smallow leads with anything else and I'm Thunderous, I can just click Thunder. Even if I Thunder into a Hippodon switch, then I can Nasty Plot the next turn. So that's my thought process. Though I wouldn't Thunder into Bronzo. Then you can just switch to Ferrothorn. So that's fine. And into Clef, you probably also can go Ferrothorn. Just click Spikes / Rocks. Yeah, so I think I will lead Thunderous if I'm Plot, and if not, Ferrothorn. As for Smallow, I think Hippodon is kind of forced. So yeah, let's see if I got it right. Keldeo Hippo. Okay, so if Keldeo is specs, I think this is a fine lead actually, because you can scout a few things with specs that you cannot with Scar, right? So I guess it's fine. Does it matter? That did 34. Looks like specs, I think. 34, yes, pretty good damage. Okay, back into Ferrothorn. So Clef is probably knockoff Thunder with Seismic Toss soft boiled on this build. And you can hard Ferrothorn early game because if it knocks, you're okay with that. You don't particularly need Ferrothorn's defensive capabilities. If it Thunder Waves, same as knockoff. So yeah. You just go Ferrothorn and start clicking hazards, which, yeah. I think you click spikes with Ferro too. And mind. Power Whip. Power Whip is a good move in the sense that if your opponent stays in with Hippo, it takes what, 55 or 60%. And then, you know, it's good damage for Thunderous Therian. Really, that's what's for. But I don't think it does enough damage to justify this. I think you should just spike or knock. If you're not spikes or knock on this set, I don't know, man. I think that's a misguided way of building this kind of teams. Like, Power Whip is okay. It still gives you information on the Hippodon spread, although you should assume that it's max special defense. Whatever. Like, it's just one lost turn is not important. Too important in this matchup. Okay, it looks like it's not Spike's Ferrothorn, so good Politoed. Okay, so here you see Skarmory does not have leftovers, so it's Rocky Helmet. That's pretty important because Skarmory, yes, has a few free switch-ins here, but without rocks, it's forced into roosting a lot more often, and that's good, I think, because it gives you more chances to go into your big breakers like Starmie or Keldeo. So let's see. Smallow goes into Clef. Good play, I think. I think that's correct. And Clef into Politoed, sure, gets burned. You know, this is defensive Politoed. You probably Thunder Wave here. I will Thunder Wave. Right, there it is. And Lumberry. So this is an offensive Ferrothorn. So my entire spiel about Hippodon earlier gets kind of invalidated. Because Power Whip will do way more than 55 to 60. I think we're around the 70% damage territory. So yeah, good on Smallow for recognizing that. Here you click. If you're Smallow, you switch. This is not that easy for the Hippo. You need to make sure rain doesn't stay up for too long. But you cannot hard Hippodon on Ferrothorn, obviously. Do you go Skarmir and then switch back into Hippodon? That's what I would do, probably. I wouldn't bother with spiking up against Starmie in this matchup. That's just... Nah. That's just not happening. So here I will go Skarmory and then immediately back into Hippodon. As for MJF, it depends on how aggressive you want to play it. Here you probably spike if you have it. Actually, I think I will Power Whip. I'm not sure if this is spike. Let's see. Oh, hard Hippo. Power Whip. Yeah, this is why you should go Skarmory first. I think Power Whip is the most likely play coming out from your opponent. And Slakoth. Slakoth is fine. It's more likely that Power Whip misses compared to a crit, so He just slack off, like Smallow did. Yeah, you may maybe give a free turn to Politoed, which I think is going to Politoed. Never mind. He just stays in and power whips again. This is a very greedy power whip. So here, yeah, Reun, and then goes hard into Skarmory to scout for knockoff. Because you want your Reuniclus leftovers to be intact in this matchup. You really need lefties up. Keldeo and Thundurus can tweet KO you otherwise under several circumstances. Then we Starmie. So yeah, you want to keep your lefties. Now what do we have? A Skarmory against Politoed. Okay, so MJF predicted the Skarmory switch, which I think is fair. Good play. Back into Clef. Maybe I should just click Seismic Toss with Clef actually, instead of Thunder Waving. Now that you know that Ferrothorn doesn't have lefties, you do actually a lot of damage by clicking Seismic Toss. Like overall, even if opponent doesn't go. Yeah, but you need Clef healthy, I guess, so yeah. Thunder Wave. Not sure I like this. It's fine because obviously Thunder Wave accuracy, Power Wave accuracy, and Thunder Wave chance. So you're chilling. This good, gyrable. Okay. Why Reun and not Skarmory? Not sure. Reuniclus covers most double switches. So I guess it's the better play. Recover, yes, good. And here you switch out to... Never mind. Hard Thunder, that's a good play, I guess. I mean, I would have switched out and 60 damage. Mallow expects it, outplays it, and Hard Thunder. Doesn't get a para, unfortunate, but now Scizor cannot come in on Reuniclus for free anymore. So this was a great exchange for Smallow. Here, you probably recover, right, with Reun, and your opponent probably switches to Politoed, I will say, if it's Anchor. If it's not, probably Thundurus. Depends on the Keldeo set as well. If you specs Keldeo, you can make a super aggressive player and just hard Keldeo. Because the safe play for Smallow is to recover. But maybe the better play is to Thunder. But you cannot Thunder, because if Thundurus comes in for free and at +0 for both, I think you lose the 1 vs 1. So I think you should go Keldeo if you're MJF. And Smallow obviously recovers. This is assuming it's past Keldeo. There are some people who run double. I do not endorse this, but they do. Because if Rain is up and Keldeo comes in and you click the Specs Water move, you're going to nuke something. Or force Latias in to recover, but it does more than 50 with rocks, so it's not that easy. So I think I go Keldeo if I'm MJF. Smallow, you probably recover. You can try to go for on a play, but I wouldn't. There comes Thundurus, and recover. Probably just switch to Hippo, right? Yep, there it is. Thundering, right? Do you want to risk the Rock Slide? Rock Slide wouldn't kill, but I think you do not risk it still. I will just guard the Politoed. 40%. Oh, it is not a Rock Slide, so there we are. Probably Slakov or not. Hardereun. I mean, I guess at this point you're not guaranteed that it's not T-Wave, but it's likely not T-Wave. So I guess this is fine. You're okay with knockoff. You'd rather, like, Harderwave is non-negotiable. Knockoff is fine in a lot of scenarios. So I guess you can just go Reun on the Ferrothorn. Psyshock. Full para. I will get pretty scared here. I will just click. Yeah, I wouldn't stay in after this art stay in and full para. I think you recover with Skarm here. Just keep it topped up for the future. And yep. Okay, here might be a prettier. You have a like the obvious play is going Clef, but your opponent could just kill you, right? But you cannot go for the greedy Ardipodon because if your opponent skulls, which is also valid, you lose Hippodon almost. It will do like 52%, and then yeah. You also cannot go Latias here. Clef is your obvious good play. But if your opponent doubles, do you care actually? Not really. Kind of. Because Kelly's choice. Yeah, no, you definitely go Clef here if you're Smallow. For MJF. You can try to double out, but I think it's desperate-ish. Latias. Anchor. Okay. I don't like either of these plays. Anchoring Skarm. You're probably faster with Toyed than Skarm, so I'm not sure what was that about. Even if you're slower, you anchor Roost. And then, wait, what changed compared to just switching out? As for going Latias, there's the risk that you get Skullborn, right? And then Keldo is closer to winning than it is right now. Though maybe since it's choice, you are like, okay, I don't agree with this. Vital Protects. Okay, cool, T-Wave. Draco Meteor, 53%. Cheap. Toxic. Oh, this is pretty bad for Smallow. He's running out of Kelly answers with this Toxic. Yeah, but now MJF can just protect again and then switch to something or not. Okay. I mean, Ferrotom is dead at this point, so there's that. But now you go... What do you do? Do you go Kelly or Thunders? I think Thunders is the safer one. Scizor. Probably U-turn then, if you go Scizor here. This U-turn is pretty greedy in the sense that there's a Rocky and Mescarway on the other side, and your Scizor is at 31%. So I guess that was a good read from MJF. And Starmie on Bronzong, click the water stab move. Bronzong probably leaves on 77, but leaves at 3%. Oh. Spin? Nice spin, in a sense, but also if you click the Hydro Pump, this Clef will be dead, so... Oh, never mind. Clef doesn't click T-Wave on the analytic Starmie. This is probably a mistake. So if you T-Wave the Starmie, yeah, you give it permanent analytic, obviously, but also Starmie has to eat Hydro Pump in Rain, which we already established it did 56 to Clef. So you just pump soft boil until it misses, or so yeah, probably big rushed, I will say. At this point, you're kind of scrambling for anything if you're Smallow. Yeah, you recover on Starmie, but yeah. I think it's lost. Oh, missed too, just in case. Even if Starmie dies, though, you still probably lose to Keldeo at this point. Like, your opponent just click water move with Keldeo. Rain is up still, and you cannot go the 60% hit pod on Keldeo. Like, yeah. Everything will just die to this. It's just done, man. Yep. Smallow recognize it and forfeits. I think going Latias a few turns ago was a bit dangerous. Too dangerous. You probably should be more willing to toss your Clef than your Latias in this matchup. Clef is a decent mon, but it's like it completely beats a few mons, but also mega loses to a lot of other mons. And in this matchup, it lost a few too many matchups, I think, to preserve compared to Latias. So I think that was Smallow's big mistake. But also the matchup isn't really good for him, right? Just Rain is up, Starmie clicks water move, you have no answer. Yeah, you have a Latias, but if rocks are up, which not that hard considering there's no spinner, you take what, 38% from Hydro Pump, and then you get Ice Beam in the face, and you're kind of just there watching with your Latias. And also, you can say, yeah, but I can T-Wave Starmie, sure, but in response, MJF can just go hard the Scizor, and then Scizor is paralyzed, but it U-turns, and unless you get lucky on that very turn with recovering, you're kind of losing from there. So yeah, good matchup from MJF. He played well, I will say. Got his pieces in the position to win. As for Smallow, I think that one mistake, that was a very bad mistake, going Latias in on Politoed and let it get toxic. I think that was the main issue here. Yeah, you can make a case that your opponent can switch. True, fair. But I think you rather live with the consequences of the double switch than with the consequences of getting your Latias toxic in this matchup, at least, where Latias is your main insurance against Keldeo mostly. But yeah, let's see if game 2 also delivers. Game 1 was decent, pretty good game. Yeah, let's see, game 2, we have a Sunstorm. I think Cyberhack loaded this exact team in my last video. Yeah, this was the same 6. As for mjfblaze, we have a pretty momentum-based Sun team with like probably Choice Band Terrak. And Scarfax Kadril, Max Health Speed Landorus. Then probably just Rocks Beton Pass Celebi. Actually, if you do that, you can Scarf your Lando and then have a Swords and Sexka. Is it good? Sure. I don't like Celebi in general. I think that's pretty weird to run. Oh, here's a sage piece of advice. Do not ever have 2 green mons next to each other. And then you also have 2 red mons next to each other and 2 brown/grey mons next to each other. Please rearrange your teams so the color pattern looks better than this, because as it stands, this is a disaster on all fronts. Probably switch Rotom with Celebi and then move one of the grey-brown mons to the last slot. That's it. Yeah, that's important. Leads, probably Rotom Wash for MJF, right? I don't see why we'll lead anything else into this. Like, Smallow has no answer to Rotom Wash. Yeah, Chansey, of course, but you can Volt out, you can do a lot of stuff, you can Plane Split on it, then Chansey suddenly loses half of its health. Beyond that, I think I will just lead Rotom. I already clicked Rotom as soon as I see the 6. As for Smallow, you should probably lead... I'm assuming Chansey is the rocker. Because on this team, usually it's Toxic, Protect, Donphan with Earthquake and Rapid Spin. And I'm going to assume it's the case here. So, and Chansey is the rocker. I will probably lead Chansey. Because leading Donphan into Rotom, you're forced into switching to Chansey, and if you get outplayed there, you're kind of fucked. Whereas if you lead Chansey into, say, Terrakion, you can just add Donphan or Cresselia, and you don't, like, it's about momentum, right? You cannot give the Sun team free momentum into you, so that's why I will lead the Chansey. But yeah, let's see. I will say Chansey and Rotom for MJF. That's what I will do. Celebi Ninetales. Never mind, I was completely off. Okay, MJF is like, I don't want to do this. Understandable. Pretty greedy flamethrower, but sure, it's fine. Okay, so here you see Sunny Day and Pursuit crit 44. Okay, Smallow makes a good play, but kind of annoying in the sense that if you wisp the Tortu, yeah, it's almost won. So here's the thing about this matchup. If Sun is up, Cresselia walls everything. Like, all 5 are walled unless it's some weird, like, nasty plot Celebi. But on this team, it's probably not a nasty plot. So your best... Like, Cresselia just walls 6. It's actually insane. But that's what makes Sun broken, right? Cresselia in Sun just walls everything. It is the case here as well. But sadly, maybe not sadly, but if he got the Will-O-Wisp off on Titar, this would be much easier for him. This is fine still. Somewhat. Not that fine. As you can see here from the screen here, 51% to Celebi in Sun with a stab super effective move. 90 is just a sad one, man. So probably should have gone something else. There's also the if Sun is up like here, you can go wall, you can just click Bug Butts. The first few times you're gonna put into Terrakion, but then you're very close to winning. But yeah, let's see how this develops. Oh, hard Baton Pass, that's fine. Titar comes in. Okay, so here's an interesting mind game. Do you Wisp or do you do something else? I think you Wisp if you're Smallow. Nice, he agrees. 11%. Okay. This is a pretty good spot if you're Smallow. I think you go... I think you just click Sunny Day here, actually. The reason being, if Terrakion comes in, you can hard the Donphan, no harm, no foul, with Sun up, obviously. not that it matters in that specific case, but if MJF clicks Rotom, you can go Chansey and either your opponent pays the Will-O-Wisp damage tax, or Chansey will take, what, 7% for Rotom and you go Terra. Sure, fantastic, but then what? So I think you should click Sunny Day if you smell low here. Wisp again is a very ambitious, I will say. Though, no, there's not. No, Wisping again is crazy. What was he trying to do? Yeah, now you send this up, and so you cannot go Chansey for free on Rotom. The whole point of Sun is making your opponent pay for plays. So, yeah, you can Volt Switch on my Chansey and go Titar to block my Sun. Fantastic, but you take the Wisp burn damage. And now, now this has been, yeah, like, this is pretty bad now for Smallow, I think. You can still win, obviously. Volk is still mega strong. Donphan is a pretty good mon. Haters notwithstanding. I don't remember the E-Trans set. I think it's leftovers though, so maybe... Probably you can trade your Heatran health to kill Rotom. And then one, or at least chip it, and then when Rotom is chipped, you only have to worry about Titar, or the other way around. So you can use Heatran to block or nuke the Titar and then win with Volk again. Though it's not that easy still. Yeah, let's see. Oh, hard Donphan. I do not agree with this at all. You know, rocks are up, so going Chansey is always a gamble. Because if your opponent Volt switches, you take rocks and Volt switch, and kind of annoying, but better than going Donphan, that's for sure. That comes out. You definitely click Moonlight here. Oh. Right. This is a pretty tough spot for Smallow. What do you click here? I think you click the... I don't know. Let's see what he did. T-Wave. Yeah, I would probably click T-Wave too. And we just spam more Moonlight until Titar dies. No, Smallow is like... I will just kill Titar from recoil if necessary, but MJF is not having any of that. Protect doesn't do anything except wasting a Iron PP, which might be important. Oh, Smallow goes for a hard read. So it's like MJF is surely is going to Volt Switch this next turn, right? Turn 19. And if he does, I stay in on the Rotom, I can click Rapid Spin, and then I'm in a pretty good spot. Jeff just did the super effective move on what was in front of him, which I think is correct. With Rocks up, even if Chansey comes in for free, you can just Volt Switch the next time. And if your opponent disrespects it and goes Donphan after the Chansey, they've still taken, I don't know, 30% on their Chansey for no real reason. Yeah, no, I think this was the right play from MJF, and Smallow made a poor choice. I mean, it is a poor choice with Inside, but in the heat of the moment, it's not that obvious, because Rotom is actually almost unbeatable for you, right? So yeah. you're kind of playing with odds anyway. I would have gone chances. Yeah. Because now, yeah, Chansey comes out now, and you probably click rocks, or but now your opponent just vault switches, and you're kind of lost right there. Yeah, now what? Yeah, opponent goes Excadrill, and you have reveal rocks. And now, what do you do? Sand is up. Cress is burned. So your opponent is just clicking Earthquake. Cresselia against Excadrill is not that easy of a matchup for Cress. Yeah, no, you just Earthquake with Excadrill. And yeah, it does. And it's on Balloonitron, which makes sense. But it's just done. Yeah, if for face. I mean, yeah, it was done at this point. I don't know. Sun always struggles into Rotom Wash plus Titar. So this was not saying the expected outcome, but pretty close to being expected. You can outplay it. Not really, because you're kind of forced to go Chansey on the Rotom, and then Rotom Ball switches to Titar, and then your Chansey takes a billion damage, and your Spinner kind of struggles into keeping them up into Celebi, or even Lando. Even if Lando was the rocker, Donphan is not that good in Lando rocker. We've seen it in the last video of Cyber against Conker, right? Where, yeah, Conker maybe made a few hasty plays against the Donphan, but Cyber still struggled there to have your Donphan keep them off. So, yeah. I think this was winnable maybe for Smallow, but I think you have to be a lot better than your opponent to pull this off. And since UCL is all about matching your guest players of around your same skill level, I would not recommend the Sunstall. Now, obviously, you can still run it. It depends on how you play it, right? And also how your opponent plays it. But in general, if your opponent is around your same skill level, I think you should not run Sun. Unless you get a very insane matchup. But I don't know what that would look like in the real world. So yeah, still a pretty fun series. This is a pretty good, I don't know, warning, let's say, on playing stall in black and white. Don't do it, man. It's very volatile, because so many things just annihilate you. It's just insane power level, way higher than most of the ones that come after it. And then you also have like permanent sand, so stuff like Chansey is very weak compared to later gens. So yeah, I will say I will claim poor team choice if I had to blame it on something from Smallow's side. You can still outplay your opponent, but you're making it very hard for yourself to outplay your opponent when you load stall. And yeah, some people panic into stall, but I'm not sure. I would never run it myself. Yeah, call me one-dimensional or whatever, but I just don't like it. That's my recommendation for future weeks. Do not load stall against anyone who is around your skill level. If you're much better than your opponent, sure, go for it. But if you're only marginally better, or if you're worse, for the record, for that, just don't do it. Unless you're someone who is like, no, I want to play style, I love playing style, I know everything about style matchups, then I guess you can do it. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. So yeah. Anyway, good games. Still, MJF, pretty solid showing. It was fun. So yeah, see you on the next video.